So Cynthia Ritchie is an American blogger living in Pakistan. Been living in Pakistan for quite some time, and I follow her on Twitter. She follows me back as well. I just have spoken to her briefly on Twitter. So Cynthia, if you watch this video, you're more than welcome to have a chat with me. And I would I obviously take people on the face value, and I would like to think that you probably have your best intentions at heart, but unfortunately I gotta call this out because one thing that is most important to me as a Pakistani is that the rights of Pakistani minorities, they get the worst end of the stick always. They're not second, they're actually third class citizens of Pakistan. I cover these stories of forced abductions, minor girls forced conversions to Islam on weekly basis. 2 or 3 stories just this week. I just covered the story of this girl. Look at the girl on the left.
Yeah.
She's a Hindu girl, 13 years old. Her name is um, uh, uh,
Anika. Anika
Anika
Megwar.
Meg Anika Megwar, and this is not some liar. Look at this. Her all the Hindu community, they actually turned up at your country's embassy in Karachi, American center. They turned up and they were protesting there for the rights of these Hindu girls. It happens on weekly basis.
According to Forbes, actually, there are 1,000 cases per year
Don't yeah,
of
some
such.
Pakistani human rights commissions have actually confirmed that figure as well. Although I think that's a bit dubious, but I'll take it. I'll take it. And
No, no,
this is
these are
evident.
just the reported case.
No, there, no,
So,
no. I looked into it. The numbers seemed a bit exaggerated. I mean, it could be maybe close to 100 or 150, maybe. But anyway, that's yeah. Look, I'll take it. I'll take it. I'll take it. But I remember seeing a report from Dawn, and they actually went in detail. And they were like, the 1,000 seemed a bit exaggerated. I think they revised the number to 200 something. But officially, some Pakistani human rights organization have used the word 1,000. So that's why I don't quote that term anymore, that report anymore, because it's a bit problematic. But anyway, this is another Ahmadi grave that was this woman was could not even be this Ahmadi Muslim woman could not even be buried in her own graveyard, and all these peaceful people just turned up and they started beating the funeral goers, and they didn't let her even die in peace. So that's the situation condition of Pakistani minorities. And as I said, I cover this every week. I have the whole
Yeah.
playlist minorities in Pakistan. You're more than welcome to check it, and you're more than welcome to have a chat with me. So, what did you actually say, Cynthia? Especially being a Westerner, um, an American, I have no doubt you understand, or you're well versed on human rights and how people should be treated above religion, above skin color, and all of that. But this tweet, I think, was a very, very poor tweet. I'm shocked that it came from you. It says forced conversions are a problem in the region. So you didn't use the word Pakistan. So I think you
Yeah. Yeah.
probably that's a bit safe word as well. You could have said in Pakistan, or actually maybe I'll give you benefit of the doubt because it's saying each year 1,000+ minority girls, Christian, Hindu, Sikhs are forcibly converted to Islamic Republic of Pakistan. So you said region. Okay, so because country Pakistan is being mentioned and responding to that, okay, I'll use the word region as in maybe Sindh. But so are minorities who profit from highly exaggerated stories. Now, what would that mean, Cynthia?
that's
What could
called
that?
victim shaming.
That
Yeah.
is a classic case of victim shaming. Like minorities profiting. How are they profiting? Is this profiting? These people. Look at those women. Hindu women. They're speaking for this little girl who's converted to Islam, to this guy on the right, the Prince Charming of her dreams. And what is profiteering in this?
I
I
wonder
just
if
cannot.
she would. I wonder if she would say the same about the families of the victims in the Western world. I would love to see her to say that and to get a um, repercussions of that because you're never allowed. You're never allowed to speak in a tone like this to a victim's
It's
family.
yeah, but it's so bad. So she gives an example. She says Christians won't clean their littered illegal settlements on government land because they profit from it. This is group shaming.
Yeah,
Like,
this is group shaming, and also, I have seen these Christian slums in Islamabad, and people are not enjoying living there. People are really poor people live there. So, and that land, and that land in the beginning was given to those people to live in the first place in back in the 80s and 70s, because most of the Christians who lived there provided house. They were house servants of all those rich people who were living in that area. So every posh area in Islamabad would have a Christian slum, because those people work in their houses. They are the cleaners, and if those people were living somewhere else, these rich people wouldn't be able to afford, or wouldn't be able to get the help that they need in their homes. So even there have been places where these slums have been forced to be removed from there. Now there are only two or three slums in Islamabad. I think three or four. There would be only three or four there, not more than that. And if she talks about Lahore or some other places, those slums are not, on. She wouldn't be able to even say that on government land. But I think some land grabbers have a very they have their eyes set upon these places in Islamabad where these Christians are living, because they can carve out a few extremely expensive plots of land from there, and they can sell those.
And
And
I
even
wonder what brownie points she's looking for by
yeah,
targeting just Christian
yeah,
yeah.
communities.
yeah.
This is yeah. You look. I mean, that Cynthia. I'm really sorry, but this clearly looks like you're appeasing. I don't know who, and like, this is why when people make those kind of conspiratorial theories up, when they make them up, like, oh, she's getting the.
If she's living in Islamabad, there would be a Christian woman working at her house as well.
Yes, yeah, well, yeah, and she could actually speak
There
to
is a
them.
great chance. Yeah.
But having, and when I in my suburb, when it was still being developed in Pakistan, there were people. There's a community called Ord, right?
Yeah,
Do you
or
know
yeah,
Ghalib?
yeah,
Ord
yeah,
people?
or yeah, yeah,
So
or
they're actually kind of like Khana Badosh. What would be the English of that? Khana Badosh. They're like kind of,
Gypsies.
yeah, they're
yeah,
kind of like gypsies. Yeah, so they're always moving around. And so we remember they would have their little juggies, their little makeshift huts as well, and there were slums, and they would just move on when that developed, when the land would need to be built on or whatever. So, and you're right, there's kachi bastis, which are like slums in Lahore as well, the Christian colonies as well. First of all, they are so poor they cannot live in the mainstream places, and those
yeah,
educated ones, those who can, they do. But yeah, as Ghalib said, yeah, they don't want to be living in those slums anyway, and there are Muslim slums as well. There are
yeah,
mosques
yeah.
as
In
well that are
Islamabad,
built.
even in
There are
Islamabad, there are.
mosques.
Yeah,
There are mosques as well that are built on illegal land, but no one would dare
yeah,
demolishing them.
yeah,
Um, so that is that's a totally different issue that you're talking about. It's like saying that, oh well, Osama bin Laden bring those two buildings down. That's why Muslims are being killed in Canada now or in America. What kind of an equivalence is that? What kind of what kind of a comparison is that, to be able to mention both of these two things in the same sentence? Is like, it's almost criminal. Like, I mean,
yeah.
look at
It's
this
criminal. It's
girl.
truly criminal. It's truly criminal. Like, the first sentence of her tweet is like, forced conversion are a problem in the region. Even she is not even
Denying it.
addressing the problem like it should be addressed, and every other word, it's just pure venom.
Yeah, so forced conversion
Yeah,
are a problem in the region. That's it, ended there. And then
yeah,
maybe create a different topic in a
yeah,
separate, different tweet than, oh, look, the land mafia and the illegal settlements and
yeah,
by Christians or Ords or by, you could create a separate issue, but don't compare that with this. Don't mention in the same breath.
yeah. Yeah.
It's
But
like,
isn't that the failure of the government if there are forced encroachments and illegal settlements? That's the failure of the government at that time, that they are unable to provide
yeah,
those
look, I mean,
people
yeah, but the third world
with
country,
enough.
yeah, of course, it's a weak government. It's a third world country that they have no law and order. And same thing happened in India a couple of weeks ago, where they demolished this mosque because apparently it was built on illegal land. So it happens all the time. I covered a story about a month ago. I think I shared that with you, where where a church was demolished by CDA,
Yeah.
Yeah.
because it was built illegally. So I get it, and it would happen, fine. But what I don't get is how you can mention that in the same breath as these issues like forced conversions and the suffering of these girls. Look at this Christian girl. She was raped, punched, kicked, and hit with a pistol. Um, and the only reason why the guy had the audacity to actually jump in a house, jump on top of her, and he raped her, the audacity that he had was because he thought that he had Muslim privilege. That's the only reason why he did it. He would not have dared do that against a Muslim girl and
Yeah.
expected to get away with it. Yes, Muslim girls do get raped as well. We know that, but they know that they could get caught. But the audacity with which they rape these minority girls or kidnap them, these little girls, 13-year-old girl, the audacity they do it with, they only do it because there's a high chance they would get away with it. They know that. They would play the religion card. They would be like, oh, we're spreading Islam. Why are you stopping us from spreading Islam? Blah, blah, blah. They do that all the time. And I mean, the official report is 1,000 girls get kidnapped and converted. Hindu, Christian, Sikh girls get kidnapped and converted to Islam every year. Maybe the number is 500. I don't know. Even one is way too many.
And these
Anyway.
are not the Muslim Christians, illegal settlements. As you said, there are Muslims as well. There are Hindu colonies as well, slum areas where Hindus, in Karachi, I know there used to be a Hindu settlement under the Teen Hatti Bridge, and they
Right.
used to live there, and they were living there, and there are hundreds of illegal settlements in Pakistan. So
The Muslim illegal settlements will be more than the.
Yeah, because there are more Muslims
yeah,
in Pakistan.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But
and
there's a
why
land mafia. There's a land mafia, and like there's so many. There's a land grabbing. What is it called? Land grabbing, land encroachment,
encroachment?
where
Yeah.
one house is sold to 5 different people, and they're all fighting, and then they just get in, and it's a common thing. This is an issue of a third world country having third world issues. You cannot you cannot mention the same thing in the same sentence as forced conversion. And as you said, she acknowledged that there are forced conversions. So, Cynthia, I would really like you to use your white privilege, because I'm sure you have that in Pakistan. Actually, no, probably now you're losing that, because you say a lot of unpopular things, and I think you do cop a fair share of criticism for people, good or bad reasons, right or wrong reasons. I don't know, but you could use that if you highlight that. You've got big following on Twitter. One tweet. Well, I tweet about it every week, and I'm sure you get to see some of them. Just one retweet would be nice. That just for there's a saying in Pakistani, "Gonglo se matti jharna," just to say
Yeah.
that, okay, like I am objective on this issue. I'm not emotional. I'm going to do the right thing. I acknowledge this problem as well. Therefore, retweet. So that was in very poor taste, Cynthia. But anyway, let's wrap it up. To help me produce more videos like these, support me on Patreon or PayPal.